Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Monday, March 24th. We have all you need to know about budget cuts impacting Penn State programs, as well as more on the development of an independent Interfraternity Council.
We also have updates on a lawsuit facing UCLA, along with entertainment, sports, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Nolan Collery.
And I'm Cailey Thalman. Center County will hold a public hearing on April 15th at the Bald Area State High School and Middle School Auditorium about the proposed closure of the Rockview State Prison. StateCollege.com reports that Governor Josh Shapiro's administration says the closure of Rockview and the Kohanna Boot Camp could save the Commonwealth $10 million in the next year and $100 million long term. The staff members would be all offered equivalent positions at their choice of 5 state correctional facilities within 67 miles. The proposal has been met with significant pushback from the State Corrections Officers Union, who say the closure would be detrimental to staff and the local economy.
WTAJ reports that the State College School District is spending $20,000 to hire an outside party to review the district response to bullying. This comes after a Park Forest middle school student died by suicide last year. They contracted Dr. Susan Swearer to evaluate the school's current procedures and policies. The review will consist of student focus groups, meetings with parents, and sessions with staff through the 2025 to 2026 school year.
StateCollege.com reports that Penn State has significantly cut the budgets of its graduate school, engineering college, and 2 programs for academically advanced students since it announced its multi-million-dollar budget cut deficit in 2022. In the same period of time, the university has increased financial support for the nursing college, outreach efforts, and the international program. A university spokesperson said all budget initiatives are meant to more efficiently utilize the university's limited resources.
StateCollege.com says that 3 Penn State fraternities have come together to create the State College Interfraternity Council, which won't be affiliated with Penn State. Tau Kappa Epsilon, Sigma Chi, and Pi Kappa Alpha created the SCIFC with the mission of cultivating a stronger sense of brotherhood and making a meaningful impact on the State College community. The organization's president, Sam Lanza, said, quote, "We want our chapter to be free from the compliance environment that has existed since the Piazza Agreement went into place," unquote. This includes recruiting freshmen in the fall and having their own judicial system. The SCIFC will be student-run and governed and welcomes any other fraternities interested in joining. We had a beautiful day here in State College today, if not a windy one, but what can students expect outside this week? We've got student meteorologist Daniel Weaver live in the studio with this week's forecast. Take it away, Daniel.
Yeah, Nolan, I think you summed that up pretty well. A beautiful day today, although it was quite windy. I noticed that wind too when I was walking into the studio. But beautiful, well, we were above average. 56 degrees was our high today, about 7 degrees above our average high, and 20 degrees below our record high. Low this morning was about 40, so about 9 degrees above our average. And look at that sunrise, sunset times, over 12 hours apart. So that sunset, or sun time is really winning out overall with the arrival of spring. Now over the next 12 hours, we can expect those temperatures to drop down into the low 30s, maybe around 32 for your low tonight, before climbing back up into the low 30s before eventually getting back into the 50s for your day tomorrow. And speaking of which, we can expect a bit breezy for your day tomorrow, though we'll be seasonable and quite a bit of sunshine. We can't rule out an isolated shower though, and then we might see rain and some snow chances though, like I said, about tonight and then to tomorrow morning. But again, they'll be very isolated. And then as we go into the rest of the week, we can see temperatures about seasonable and sky conditions about partly the mostly cloudy, but not too much precipitation at least expected until we get into this weekend. So right now we're sitting at a temperature about 46 degrees here at Beaver Stadium. Feels like 39 though, and that's because that wind is gusting up to 20 miles an hour. pretty breezy out there. And like I mentioned, across the Commonwealth, you see temperatures in the mid 40s to 51 in Pittsburgh and also 53 in Philadelphia, and the upper 30s up in north and west and northern tier with 38 degrees out there in Erie. Now, this is actually pretty warm compared to where we were this time yesterday. About 4 degrees warmer here in State College, 14 degrees warmer out there in Wilkes-Barre. So quite a bit warm across the eastern half of the Commonwealth. The western half of the state, though, is about the same where they were 24 hours ago in terms of temperature. Satellite radar, though, we do see a few spots, a few sprinkles of rain showers making their way across the central portion of the Commonwealth. Maybe a few snow showers trying to make their way into the northern tier, but otherwise, though, it's not quite that cold enough, so any snow that does fall won't be sticking around for long. And this is all because of this area of low pressure situated right over to the northwest with this cold front drape that brought us the rain yesterday. That's going to stick around and try to bring us a few more chances of rain, which you can see here as we go throughout the night tonight. You still have a few isolated, scattered showers that will try to make their way through State College. Maybe a flurry or two of snow, but again, like I said, temperatures are going to struggle to get below freezing, and tomorrow we're going to be back in the 50s, so any snow that does fall will be gone by, say, tomorrow morning when temperatures are in the 40s. A few clouds then make their way into the northern tier tomorrow afternoon and evening. And a few clouds trying to make their way into State College as well, but otherwise, though, should be mostly clear for the day tomorrow here in central Pennsylvania. And as we head into Wednesday, the skies will remain clear as well, though Wednesday will be quite a bit chilly, might actually be around average to below average. As we head into later in the week, we'll see if the clouds make their way in on Thursday. As we move into Friday, we'll watch our next chance of rain with our weak system moving its way through. Well, it looks like the bulk of the rain will stay to the north, but we're watching trends in the models as they continue to shift and trying to pinpoint that exact location for rain. Now, over the next week, we can see temperatures a bit above average. We're right on that line between that above and below average temperature. There will be seeing quite a bit of precipitation, so if you do have your umbrellas, don't forget them next week because you probably will need them. And speaking of you're not going to need them tonight. Well, you might, but if you do, it'll only be for like 5 minutes. Isolated rain with some snow showers possible, low of 36 degrees tonight. A bit breezy out there, but that wind really kicks up tomorrow with winds around 20 to 25 miles an hour, or 10 to 15 miles an hour rather, with a high of 52 degrees. So a little warm, a little cooler than when we were today, but not by that much. And then that 7-day forecast, those temperatures really bottom down on Wednesday, but then they come right back up on Thursday and Friday, with Thursday being the only sunny day of the week, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday being our next system, and good chance for rain. Now back to you, Nolan.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Now stick around because after the break, Bronwyn Leiber will have the latest in sports.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Bronwyn Leiber with your sports update. The Penn State Nittany wrestling team are your NCAA champions and crowned 2 individual champions, Carter Strachey and Mitchell Messenbrink, while freshman Josh Barr finished as an NCAA runner-up. Strachey also made history being the first ever 5-time NCAA wrestling champion. With the titles won by Strachey and Messenbrink, the Nittany Lions now have 61 NCAA champions, 40 since Anderson's arrival. As head coach, Penn State has now won 12 of the last 15 contestant NCAA champions, and its 4th straight for the 3rd time since Sanderson became the head coach in April 2009. After a discouraging first half of the 2024-2025 season, Penn State men's hockey has officially clinched an NCAA tournament bid. The Nittany Lions ended the season 14-4 to climb back from a 6-9 start, finishing as one of the hottest teams on the ice. Penn State was awarded a 4 seed and will face number 1 seed Maine in the Allentown region in the NCAA Regionals at 8:30 p.m. on Friday, March 28th. It's the best time of the year. It's Dollar Dog Night, and they are back. Kennedy Rivers is live in the studio with a recap of Penn State baseball's last Dollar Dog Night. Kennedy?
Thanks, Bronwyn. Last week I attended Penn State's 2nd Dollar Dog Night of the year. Let's take a look. It's Tuesday, which means Dollar Dog Night is back at Penn State. Penn State baseball hosted its 2nd Dollar Dog Night of the year. Last Tuesday, the Nittany Lions faced St. Bonaventure. However, most fans were just there for the hot dogs. The line for hot dogs was certainly longer than the line to get into the stadium, and it was clear fans were willing to wait.
15 minutes. Not too bad. A little longer than that. I'm going to say 20.
The $1 hot dog night started in 2023, and since then, over 48,643 hot dogs have been consumed. I'm here at Medler Field, where it's $1 Dog Night, where it's fun for students, families, and friends, and of course the $1 hot dogs. Everything from hot dog races, hot dog enthusiasts, and hot dog just MCs, it was a hot dog filled night. $1 Dog Night brings another sense of community to Penn State sports.
I think everyone just loves to come together, have a good hot dog. It's a pretty, it's like the American way. And come together at the school. It's just a fun time hearing good music, watching the guys play baseball, eating a hot dog. It's a great time. I love being here.
The atmosphere and the $1.
The record for $1 Dog Night is 8,591 hot dogs. However, Tuesday, Penn State came close to that record with 7,506 hot dogs eaten. However, most fans have their own thoughts on the best ways to enjoy their hot dogs.
They need condiments. They are a little dry, to be honest.
Hang on.
Tomatoes, to wash it down. It's a responsibility to just eat food and not have something to drink.
Thank you. With almost 4,000 fans showing up for the hot dogs, Penn State was sure to have the fan base to win the game 10-5. For Penn State Network News, I'm Kennedy Rivers. The next $1 Dog Night is tomorrow, Tuesday, March 25th at Medlar Field. Penn State plans to host Pitt at 5:30. Admission is free and the hot dogs are only $1. Back to you, Bronwyn.
Thanks, Kennedy. In national news, Jameis Winston is taking things to the Big Apple. The 31-year-old quarterback agreed to terms with the Giants on a 2-year, $8 million contract. Winston joins Tommy DeVito as the only quarterback on the Giants roster. New York has been in the market in free agency for a veteran after much quarterback uncertainty these past 2 seasons. Winston played in 12 games last season for Cleveland and started in 7 of those games after Deshaun Watson was injured. He went on to throw for 2,121 yards and 13 touchdowns with 12 interceptions. The struggling U.S. men's soccer team lost 2-1 to Canada in the third-place match of the CONCACAF Nations League tournament. Canada has beaten the U.S. in consecutive matches for the first time since 1985, following up a friendly victory last September. This loss came after a 0-1 loss to Panama. The Americans won the previous 3 editions of this CONCACAF tournament. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Lily Pergola has the latest in the world of entertainment. Stay tuned. Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Lily Pergola with your entertainment update. The Entertainment Business Club at Penn State wrapped up its first ever fashion showcase at the State Theater, bringing creativity and collaboration to the spotlight. The event celebrated Penn State's vibrant artistic community, providing a platform for student artists to connect and showcase their talents. Attendees enjoyed an eventful experience filled with opportunities to socialize, explore, and shop for exclusive pieces. The showcase not only highlighted emerging talent, but fostered a sense of unity with the campus art scenes. Penn Valley Conservation Association's annual festival, River Songs, is coming this Sunday to the Elk Creek Cafe. The festival aims to bring the valley together by spreading awareness to the local school district and community, and raising money benefiting environmental education. The festival will open up with Trevor Wegner and Gary Geikis, and headline with Tyne and the Fast Line. Guests will have the opportunity to listen to live music, eat great food, and participate in 50-50 raffles and fun trivia. For tickets and information, visit pennvalley.com. Are you a social butterfly who also enjoys dancing? Olivia Swigert is live in the studio with more details on the perfect club for you. Olivia?
Thanks, Lily. Last week, I had the chance to attend dance lessons that are being held by a club here at Penn State. Let's take a look.
Free bachata lessons are held by the Penn State Social Dance Club on Thursday evenings from 6 to 8:30 p.m. in the State College Municipal Building.
I'm Olivia Swigert here at the Municipal Building in downtown State College, checking out the free bachata lessons held by the Penn State Social Dance Club.
The bachata lessons are taught by Jorge Bolinas and Elif Basaran, who are both very passionate about dancing and teaching.
I danced usually just at the socials for a little bit. And then there was just an opening because there's a lot of interaction usually between the people doing the lessons, the people in charge, the members. So someone asked me and I was able to do it. It was my first time starting to teach, but yeah, I think it went very well.
I think this is a very small town, and the benefit of being in a small town is we have to keep things most of the times at the beginner level, because there's only so many people and the crowd changes so much. So people shouldn't feel scared that there's a bunch of advanced dancers doing like fancy stuff. It's always welcoming. I think that's the main thing about the teaching environment in State College.
It's definitely something I enjoy now. Definitely try to help others if they're trying to teach as well. So.
The lessons are available for anyone, whether you're a beginner or intermediate dancer. You can bring a friend or you can go solo, and no sign-ups are involved. Just visit room 201 in the municipal building and get to dancing.
For more information about these lessons, visit sites.psu.edu/social dance. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Olivia. In national news, Disney's highly anticipated remake of Snow White hit theaters last Friday, but it's stirring up a ton of controversy among critics and fans. The new adaptation brings significant changes compared to the 1937 classic. Rachel Zegler, who takes on the role of Snow White, revealed the character's origin story has been altered, along with major adjustments to the storyline. The remake earned $87.3 million opening weekend worldwide, despite costing Disney at least $350 million to make. Tickets are on sale now. The popular series Severance concluded Season 2 with shocking outliers to fans. The hit Apple TV series ended its Season 2 last Thursday with a major cliffhanger. It also gave fans clarity around major questions within the season, but the future of the show's main characters remain unknown. The finale revolved around Audi, Mark's mission to save Gemma from Lumon, but then decides to stay behind for Helly R. To get fans excited, Apple TV announced the series was renewed for a third season on Friday. Severance has been Apple's biggest streaming hit so far, giving viewership to the platform. Now fans will have to count down to Season 3. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, Neela Azami will be speaking with Jamie DiBolonia, the Director of Marketing for Penn State's Business Sports Conference. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Neela Azami, joined alongside Jamie DiBolonia, the Director of Marketing of Penn State Sports Business Conference. She's here to talk with us today about working as a female in the sports industry. Thank you so much for joining us, Jamie.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be back.
Of course. So firstly, can you introduce yourself a little bit? What is your grade? What's your major?
Absolutely. So I'm a junior. I'm majoring in advertising and public relations, and I'm also minoring in sports studies and journalism, and I'll be graduating with a certificate in the John Curley Center of Sports Journalism.
Awesome. Good for you. So obviously you are a part of PSN News. So what made you realize that you wanted to do sports particularly, and is that something you've known your whole life? Like, what really drew you into the sports realm?
Yeah, so definitely a full circle moment. I started out as a news anchor here at PSN News for both semesters my freshman year, and I loved it. I learned so much. It was such a good environment to learn. And towards the end, I kind of realized that I wanted to have a little bit more control over, maybe like the stories I'm writing, just be able to, show my personality in different ways. So I have always been surrounded by sports, and football was a huge thing in my life growing up, and I always loved football. So I pivoted to sports, and I became a sports anchor here and got involved in a couple different things here, but yeah, so that's kind of how that started.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you realized that from a young age, and I think you always kill it doing sports and everything. So that's good that you found what you're passionate for and went for it. And obviously you mentioned football being something that you're really passionate about. And I know that you had an internship with the Jets in the past. Can you kind of walk us through how that experience was for you, since you've always been so passionate about sports and media and all that? How was that experience like for you?
It was so awesome. Yes. So I knew going into sports that I wanted to be doing something with a team. Obviously, shooting for the NFL right off the bat was a little bit crazy, but I was super excited and super passionate about that, and I knew that was what I wanted to do. So I kind of went all in. I knew that the Jets was something I always was looking for. So even before the internship even came out or anything like that, I dove right in and was networking. Networking is such a big part of absolutely anything to create any opportunity for you before it even happens. So was meeting with people from the Jets, just connecting with any way that I could. So then by the time the internship actually came out, I felt like I had a lot of people in my corner. So that was super helpful. And from there, then obviously there was a couple different things you had to do, internship process, interview-wise. And then the last round of interviewing itself was super intimidating because it was a 20-minute call and it was one person interviewing 5 of us. So I knew I had a short turnaround time to, kind of prove that I was the person for them. And I always say, once you have an interview, they know you can do the job. You just have to prove to them why you would be best for their company.
Right. Well, that's awesome. That's like such an amazing story, and it seems like such an amazing experience as well. Personally, like as a female, I am so curious to know, like, how is being a female in sports journalism? How is that experience like for you? Do you feel like it's different? And what opportunities do you think it brings you, good and bad? Both?
Definitely. It's definitely, sports in general is a male-dominated field. So
sure.
You have to be super confident and comfortable in what you bring to the table. You have to know that everybody's different and everyone has different things that they carry that makes them different. So I would say being confident in what you have and what you have to offer is super important, but also, being comfortable hearing the word no and also learning to be motivated by the word no is super huge. And the more times you hear the word no is just, I would say, an opportunity to kind of light a fire under you and prove that, maybe this isn't, the best place for me, but, rejection is redirection in my eyes. So, but just being confident in what you bring and also seeing value in everybody else for their differences.
Right, definitely. Is there any advice you would give to someone looking to do sports, or not even sports, but just getting, either it could be in journalism, it could be in sports, it could be whatever it is, someone coming into school or young girls, like, is there any certain piece of advice that you would want to give or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely tell them to create their own opportunities. Don't wait for things to come to you. You get out of it what you put into it. So if you're looking for something and you're working really hard to get it, it's gonna come to you. Right. So you really just have to kind of grind and it'll come to you no matter how long it takes. You have to just go all in. So yeah, create your own opportunities, be confident in yourself, and yeah, just know what you bring to the table is different from everybody else.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing advice, and I'm sure that so many people would use that going forward. I also want to touch on how you are the marketing director for the Business of Conference. Can you touch on that? How's that experience for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Penn State Sports Business Conference is an annual thing we've been doing here for 8 years now. Right. I started out my sophomore year as just a coordinator on the marketing team, and this year the director of marketing. So it's a 2-day event. The first day is more networking. We bring in a ton of recruiters from all different types of companies, teams, anything you could imagine, it's probably there. Mm-hmm. So, and then the second day is more focused towards speakers. So we bring in professionals in the sports and the business industry, law, whatever. Again, it's whatever you can imagine, it's probably there. Right. So it's a really good student-run organization that I find is super rewarding, and that's what I love about it.
And was that position, you said it was this year that you're doing director of marketing? Mm-hmm. How do you feel like that has been, like, with the workload and everything and all that?
I think it's been good. Obviously you have to find balance in everything that you do, but learning how to, delegate different things, and we have an amazing team, and learning how to just work with so many different people, it's really inspiring to work with alongside such smart and genuine people, especially in the sports industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how, I guess, for someone trying to get into that role, and I know you said you started off as like a smaller position, is there anything you would recommend on how to get into that more?
Yeah, definitely just get involved. We interview a ton of different people going into it, but we just love people who are passionate about what we are doing and that want to learn about it. So yeah, just put yourself out there and opportunity awaits.
Right, that's awesome. Jamie, it looks like you have so much experience and such a great future ahead of you. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, and just getting to interview you and talk to you today was such a pleasure. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, thank you.
Now stick around, because coming up next, Cailey and Nolan will have the latest news from across the nation.
35 pro-Palestine students, faculty members, legal observers, journalists, and activists filed a lawsuit on Thursday against UCLA over how it handled last year's protests against the Israel-Hamas war. The demonstrations on UCLA's campus became part of a nationwide movement against the war. Tensions regarding the protests boiled over on April 20th when counter-protesters dismantled a pro-Palestinian encampment. The lawsuit says that UCLA failed to protect the demonstrators, leaving several injured. The altercation led to a reassignment of the campus police chief and the creation of a new campus safety office.
Columbia University has agreed to implement policy changes following ultimatums from the Trump administration. Earlier this month, the administration pulled $400 million in funding from the university. In order to get the money back, the university must enact 9 separate reform policies, including revising its disciplinary process, changes in the department's supervision, enhanced campus security, and addressing anti-Semitic incidents. While Columbia has been the recent target, President Trump has put other universities on notice that they will also face the same cuts if they do not embrace the administration's agenda.
The Associated Press reports tuberculosis cases reached their highest levels in more than a dozen years last year. More than 10,000 cases were reported in 2024, making an 8% increase from 2023. 34 states reported an increase, and numbers were up among all age groups. Tuberculosis is caused by a bacteria that usually attacks the lungs and is spread through the air when someone coughs or sneezes. It can be fatal if left untreated. CDC officials say the rise is mainly due to international travel and migration.
Europe's busiest airport was forced to shut down for nearly 18 hours after losing power from a fire at an electrical substation, leaving nearly 200,000 passengers stranded. The fire started just before midnight at a substation 2 miles away from London's Heathrow Airport and took 7 hours to get under control. The shutdown affected at least 1,350 flights, and the impact is expected to last several days. Authorities says they found no evidence of suspected foul play, and the investigation will focus entirely on electrical issues. That concludes our show tonight here at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.